Hawthorne Bank in Liberty is a proud supporter of the Liberty School District. At Hawthorne Bank, we understand the importance of a strong community and a strong school district. We also understand the importance of a strong financial future for our school district's families and for our local businesses.
I'm Melissa Hubble.
I'm Mariah Imler.
I'm Terry Hayter.
I'm Lynn McClure.
I'm Nick Richmond, and Hawthorne Bank is proud to support KLPS and the Liberty Public School District.
Hawthorne Bank, with you every step. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
That'll be good.
Hello, this is Coach Frigon with Liberty Blue Jay Press Conference. We're here today going into week 8 of our season. We're currently sitting 5-2 and have 2 regular season games remaining. We played this week against Truman and then finish out next week with Lee Summit North. I'll go ahead and open it up for some questions.
Hi, Coach Frigon. So even though the outcome against Park Hill South wasn't what you wanted, what are some good aspects of the game that you saw the boys do?
Well, you look at that game, it was a game for a conference championship, 2 5-1 teams, 2 good football teams, and it went right down to the very last play of the game as the clock expired. And unfortunately, we ended up on the wrong end of that. And but at the same time, it was a really good game. And looking back at it, there's a lot of things we could have done better and a lot of things that Park Hill South did well. They're a good football team, extremely well coached, and it just made for a really good football game and an environment here at Liberty High School that night.
And next week against Truman, what do you think we need to do to win the game?
Well, when you look at Truman, they're a team that's 4-3 and have had some big wins. They just recently lost in overtime this past week at Columbia Battle, who's a state-ranked team, and played really well. But they are built around their run game. They're a power run game. They have, I think there's 6 guys on their roster over 300 pounds that all play. Big physical football team that runs the ball first. They run it really well. And we know that for us to have a chance to win the game, we're going to control their run game. I don't think anybody stopped it, but control their run game and what they've done. And then for us to execute on offense and put up points. So hopefully those are some things we can do to help us come out on top this week.
What are some things that Park Hill South did to make it hard on you guys?
Well, when you look at Park Hill South, especially on defense, they did a lot of things by putting guys in the box to stop our run game. And it caused us, to have to adjust and do some things. Coming out in the second half, we were able to execute a lot better in the second half. So when we got out after halftime, our first play was like a 45-yard pass gain, and we were able to get all the way down and score on that first drive. Later that same quarter, we had a sack by Bennett Swope that caused a fumble, then we scored on it. And we know that put us in a position to take the lead and be competitive throughout the rest of the game. Ultimately, it came down to, though, we had 2 dead possessions where we had once inside the 10. We didn't get any points out of it because of a penalty. And then we had a drive stall on some incomplete passes in the first half that would have put us inside the 25. So those are the things we have to capitalize and get better at.
So you mentioned earlier that we're going to have to stop Truman's running game. How are we going to do that?
Well, when you look at what they do, they're very well coached and respected. They have a core set of run plays that they just run over and over again, and they know where to counteract those. We're going to have to be great tacklers. I felt like last week our defense was in the right position a lot of time, but when able to get guys down on the initial contact. So hopefully that'll be something that improves this week. And then just the things we coach every day, their overall key reads for our defense, and getting people off the field on 3rd and 4th down. I know last week against Park Hill South, on their last drive that put them ahead by a touchdown, they had a 4th and 9 that they executed really well. Guy made an incredible catch, and we're able to keep that drive alive. And hopefully those are things that we can stop this week to get the defense off the field, get our offense back out with a chance to score.
What was one of the ways you guys prepared for last week's game?
Well, when you look at last week's a little bit different with it being homecoming. We had a different schedule within our day, and at the same time, it was a great day. Our school does homecoming right. I can't imagine anywhere else doing it better. Had a great parade, incredible pep rally. We also had our Hall of Fame banquet this past week where we had new inductees into our Blue Jay Hall of Fame. We were fortunate enough to have some of them speak to our team. And David Allen spoke to our team in pregame. He's played 7 years in the NFL. And just really neat community day. And then the overall crowd that night made for an awesome day here at Liberty. But, our schedule, we tried to keep it as the same amount as possible. We did have one of our players that was a homecoming candidate that was out on the field, so that changed a little bit of things in pregame and over the halftime. But all in all, we tried to keep it as normal as possible by at the same time enjoying all things that happened that day, a celebration of our school.
With it being homecoming, do you think it added pressure to the team, or do you think it kind of relaxed them?
Oh, I think there's no doubt it's going to add pressure when you're playing in front of a bigger crowd. And I think compound that with playing for a conference championship and with 2 state-ranked 5-1 teams, that adds to it right there. But hopefully, I felt like we performed went over and above in that respect, that we really went out and played hard and performed well, and unfortunately came up a score short at the end there, and with a drive that ended inside the 10-yard line.
How do you think the seniors and the other upperclassmen that are in those leadership roles are positively affecting your team?
When I look at our seniors this year, and I told them this yesterday at practice, we have 20 seniors. I feel like they get along and are closer than any group we've had in a long time. And I don't know if that's true or not, but it's just the way it feels at practice. They rely on each other. I don't think they treat anybody different, whether they're a superstar or somebody that just plays every now and then or a few snaps here and there. There's a truly close group that trusts each other, enjoys being around each other, and that really spreads to our entire team. Just an outstanding group of kids.
Like you just said, this year's seniors were really affecting the team. Do you think the juniors this year will be able to step up next year and do the same thing?
Well, we hope so. That's something you really don't know until they get into that spot. But I do know this, that they've been showing how to do it and how it should be done from this year's group. They've had good examples in front of them, and hopefully that carries over as we move into our next season. All right, this week, like I said, we played Truman. It's down at Truman. They have a new stadium. It's actually at Truman High School. Every other time we played Truman, it's been at William Chrisman, but it's going to be at their place at Truman High School on Nolan Road. And like I said, we're excited to play another conference game and hopefully get back in the win column this week. Thank you for coming.
Hawthorne Bank in Liberty is a proud supporter of the Liberty School District. At Hawthorne Bank, we understand the importance of a strong community and a strong school district. We also understand the importance of a strong financial future for our school district's families and for our local businesses.
I'm Melissa Hubble.
I'm Mariah Imler.
I'm Terry Hayter.
I'm Lynn McClure.
I'm Nick Richmond, and Hawthorne Bank is proud to support KLPS and the Liberty Public School District.
Hawthorne Bank, with you every step. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.